I'm Scottie Wiest, and I'm a potter here in Elkins, West Virginia. I got into pottery as a subject in college, and my second year in college I thought it would be good that I would have a expanded experience from painting, because I thought I wanted to be a painter. So I took a class and I really enjoyed it. But I guess the part that really got me into clay and knowing that this is my work happened when I was very, very small. And it was after World War II, and my parents moved into a house up on Sycamore Street, and it was a new development, and there were some shale banks, and in that stream, the water that was pressed out of the shale in this new development, it came through some clay. And I went out one day and was playing in the clay, and as I put my hands in the clay, I had this cosmic experience. I would now call it metaphysical, but it was a transporting change in my awareness, my consciousness. So that was like an very early experience that clay meant a lot to me. Nobody sees the part about what happens before the clay gets to here. I lived in Japan and I studied there. And I worked in a studio that was the studio of a living treasure. What was interesting about Japan is it was a whole culture of people. There were people who dug the clay, brought it into Kyoto, it was used, and then it was worked up. They had people that would come in and throw for the master, and the master would come in and decorate the pot, and then it would be put in the kiln, and there was a group of people who came and fired the kiln. So there was a whole community. I've mainly done pottery in West Virginia. I've been in North Georgia and I've been up in Michigan. But I do love the mountains, and I do love the environment and the area that we have. And my work, often whether I'm doing mountains or trees, that's a part of me. And I relate a lot to a lot of different eras, a lot of different styles of clay, and really enjoy making things for people to use in their life, in their kitchens, on their tables, and as a part of everyday life. Now, they talk about people being ceramic artists. I'm really a potter. Artists are people who change a vision, and I don't think I'm trying to change a vision. I'm trying to support people in everyday life. So I wax all the bottoms, and then I decorate, and I'll decorate all this work, and there's a little bit more that I will get out of the kiln, and then I'll get them decorated, and I'll put them all back in the kiln with glaze on them. And it's a very simple pattern that I've done a lot and made a lot of. And I used to also do this same look, blue and white, with birds, but the flowers have stuck more than the birds. I'm always wanting to try different and new things, and at the same time, there's a constant, like the pattern that I use of the blue and white flowers. And it's very consistent. But I like the tree symbol for the tree of life and what trees mean and do for us, and how trees reach to the sky and have deep roots in the ground and all of that. So I take the pot with these grippers and I have to support it and dip it down in the glaze, make sure it's well covered, and pull it out. And then set it down. Okay, so for the bisque kiln, I can stack very full. I can put things right up next to each other, and it's not a problem. And I will tell you that some potters are considered clay potters because they love making the pieces, but they don't really get hurrying up to fire, and others are fire potters. And I'm always at a loss which I am, but I think I tend more towards the clay than towards the firing. So it's always hard for me to reach the point that I quit production, quit making. It's like, oh, I could make one more, or I could work another day. I think since I've really started, I've always liked that people wanted these things and appreciated them, but I didn't know I would be here this much later, still making pots, still hoping people will want them. And when I go into somebody's home and they have one, I'll say, that's really still a nice pot.